Okay, my friends, Roger Mudfossil University calling on the United States government to fulfill their obligation to trust and honesty and to have dialogue with me about what is our true reality. I'm trying to present this. 5 years ago, I did a video about what is in space. This is a moon rock at the White House. I know what this is, and I'm going to present it right now. And this is a challenge to our government to restore trust by being honest. And if I am wrong, I'll be the first one to walk away. I'm going to present chemistry, physical specimens that document and verify what I am saying. Stay tuned. Okay, going to make this short and sweet, my good friends. This is Roger, Mudfossil University, looking at a sample of a lunar rock on demonstration at the White House, which is exactly what I have here, only this is a terrestrial lung, and that is a lunar lung. That, I can tell you exactly what that is made of. Now, I don't understand, well, anybody can that understands what a lung is made of. Now, this was sent to me by a friend, and this is what they're saying. They are going to examine this. This is on display, and it's imperative, they say, that this continue researching. This is ongoing research, imperative, as we continue to learn about the planet and the moon. I have information about the planet and the moon they don't have. They don't understand about biology and how it turns into stone. Like this bone is broken in there, but I understand how this occurred and what that is, and that is a lung. Now, they don't always go like that. They don't always solidify like that. This one here is a human lung, and I can say that because it's been DNA certified human using PCR DNA analysis. This was CAT scanned. Anatomists looked at it. All of these things I'm showing appear to have been from some saltwater flood that preserved them in this manner. Now, how they got preserved on the moon, I don't know, but I'm going to tell you right now, if they can present me with the specimens data that relates to the chemistry of that, I can tell you already what it is, and I think I will. All right, I believe that they'll find something almost exactly the same as that. A lot of hydrocarbons, a lot of irons, silicon, sodium. This is from Comet 67P. This also is biology, and that I can also prove. Not only is that the chemistry of 67P, which is basically blood. Let me show you what 67P is doing and looks like. All right, get any anatomist. They can tell you that that is a bundle of fibers. They could be muscle, they could be tendon. That is the fibers of tendon. This is the emplacement of a tendon enthesis. There's going to be all these little anchors around the side, and they will also have blood vessels on them. And the blood vessels are being cooked and shot out into space as particles of literally barbecue gas, and that's what they read, and it is the same that they're going to find on comets. Comet 67b is going to be the same as that lung that came back from the moon. First of all, that is a tendon enthesis. I don't care what anybody says, that's what it is. And these are the little anchors that hold it. You see them around here? You see all these little things shooting up here? They're not shooting up there for no reason. They're being cooked. And you see some of them shooting this way, that way, this way. They're not just being blown off as dust. That is being cooked off blood coming out of these different blood vessels that service the thing, and this is one huge one that's coming out here. That's the main artery probably that's coming down there. Now, let's take a look at it from a different point of view. Okay, my friends, that's an Achilles tendon, and these are where the anchor is down here. That's the anchor, and these are the fibers that come out, and one of them is broken as a bundle, and you can see the little pinchy bundle, and some of them keep coming. See, remember those little bars? Let's take one more look. There's the little bars that are the fibers, and there's one of the bundles that he showed it strapping off. Like one of them is snapped off here. there was battles in the heavens. I was not ever a religious person. That stuff was just nonsense to me. Nobody could ever prove anything to me. Well, now, everything that they have said in the past, I can almost prove was true. Battles in the heavens, where'd that come from? What's a tendon doing in space? What are other body parts doing? I have them here, body parts that came out of space from giant creatures that appear to be human. And there's blood in them that can be tested right now. Here's one, hold on. Hold on, it's around here somewhere. Here it is right here. This, my friend, and I can guarantee you, that is a fingertip from some giant creature, and that is blood. And the reason this side is blown off of here was when it came through space and heated up and cooked and blistered off, and all of the flesh burnt off of here. The wet, still wet blood that was in here boiled and blew out this side, coming through space. This had to come in at night along with the rotation of the Earth. It's just not damaged enough. But that is what happens, exactly what happens when they blister off coming through space. I have other ones that are meteorites too. And I have a terrestrial fingertip that's exactly in the same condition. And hold on, I'll find it. Give me a minute. There it is. All right, here. You see that? That is the same fingertip. You see the little hook right there? These are the spots right here where the blood was. That's the vein blood. Doesn't blow out. You see the hook? You see the tip? You see what? Exactly identical. You see the pattern? Identical. Well, what would be on the other side if vein was on this side? Artery. Guess what? Red is artery. Guess what? That's the artery. And this had the same thing here, only instead of hardening up and just leaking out, this exploded. And the only reason it would explode is from being overheated in a hot, wet condition coming through space. It exploded and blew out blood into space. And that right there, you see that round circle? You see that stalk? It's identical to this. It's a tendon enthesis. And when you look at it in a microscope, you see all these little pock markers there. I don't know if you'll be able to see them. They're the same as these pock markers here. It's identical. This is the identical same thing as this. The stalk is even identical if you look at it from a different perspective. All right, I hope you can see this. This round ball here is that round ball there. These underneath here, those spikes, if you can see them, all those little round little spiky looking things, that is right on around that ball. You see that's part of that ball. You see the spikes? You see they're exactly identical. There's no difference whatsoever. Identical. It's a tendon enthesis. Alright, that's the ball for 67p. That's the stalk. That's the stalk on 67p. The ball is underneath. The little, very, very grippy little things in here, if you can see them, I don't know if you can or not. That's the ball. You see the ball? And these little things in here, those are the grippers that lock it in place so that it can't move. There's still blood in here. There's no question whatsoever. You could drill into here and get completely fresh blood and see what this was made of. That's a giant human fingertip floating in space. I have giant human fingers here, also DNA tested. I have all kinds of parts from giants here, and they're not allowed. So if we have an honest administration, I can tell you right now what that rock is in there, and they said they took samples from it. They sliced it off. The one that's in the White House. Hold on. Okay, one last look. If this was sliced, it would have exactly the same thing, and it has the same look because the same holes and everything on the outside. And I know what this is made out of, and that's made out of the same stuff. Now, it may have been weathered a little differently, but they claim down here that they took samples out of this. And hold on, let me see if I can find it. the slices came off. The reason it's flat. Well, here's what it says. In symbolic recognition of earlier generations' ambitions and accomplishments, support for America's current moon to Mars exploration. Support. To try to understand what we're doing. Not walk around in circles and pretend it isn't real. Even though it is unbelievable, if something is without doubt shown, it should be investigated. I've been trying to force this on JPL, Johnson Space Center, Yale, Harvard, everybody, the whole 9 yards, every single one of them, NASA, European Space Agency. Well, you see, 5 years ago I did the video. Not a single one will respond. Zero. Not one single response from anyone. So they're going to walk around in circles for the rest of their lives. All I can say is the only way that they can be missing all the things that I have been shown is to be afraid for your job. Astronauts say that space smells like steak, like metallic odor, welding fumes, burnt steak. To me, it's sort of like brimstone, as if a witch has just been there, he said, of the space station's airlock. And that's after they take their suits off. And the reason is because in space you don't have enough combustion to break down the molecules to where they're the smells that we smell. Welding fumes are more of a similarity, because all metals is what's in your blood. That's what's in your blood is metals. Iron, all the different metals are in your blood. All of this is all of you. Isn't that the song? All of this is all of you. This is the most important part of your whole body. These are what they call transition metals. What do? They pick up and deliver products. They transition. They transition from one state to another. You bring out some zinc, drop it off, and pick up a little carbon or oxygen or whatever. Comes back and flushes it through the kidneys, the liver, the lungs, and the whole 9 yards. And you just keep cycling these products. These are considered transition metal compounds. And they have what they call a ligand. They have a bunch of different particles there, and then they have a couple of pinchers. And they can pinch and grab this one and say, okay, bring that down to the liver and give it to that guy, or bring it over to the muscle, the guy's doing too much work, whatever it is. And that's how they work. They bring it over and they say, well, what are you going to give me? I said, well, I'll give you a couple of these carbon dioxides. Oh, that's good. Here, take this, take that, take that. You give me this. Anything else? Nope. All right, I'll be back tomorrow. That's it. Okay, I guess that's it. That's my challenge. I have the new electron flood theory, and that's all that exists is electrons. I've shown this many times, and I have more evidence to show in the form of actual experiments. So until somebody will communicate with somebody else, and you may even be interested in a new species that we've discovered they appear to be human hominids. It's so much to understand and to learn. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to go through the problem. They don't understand space either, because space is loaded with particles, and those particles are interacting with our atmosphere, and that is what's forcing electrons into our atmosphere, into the outer ionosphere, magnetosphere, Van Allen belts, all of that, creating the Schumann resonance frequencies, which is discharge factors that end up impacting the Earth with those electrons. I fully understand it now. Electron flood theory solves 100% of everything. I know it's a terrible, arrogant, bragging statement, but my old boss said if it's true, it ain't bragging. It's true. All right, I had to start Mudfossil University to address all these issues, because not only do I have the mud fossils, and that's how it all started. And when I found out there was no interest in reality at academia, I went into every other realm, and I found out every other realm is dictated by literally a dictatorship of every one of these realms. They almost have like a dictator authority figure that says, you go out of this box, you will be destroyed. And that's what happened. I'm going to show you even in electronics, in light research. We're ahead of CERN. I know, big hotshot, arrogant guy, big loudmouth, and that's what everybody says about him, and then they just walk away. Well, I tried to be nice. I tried to be gentle. I said, what do you think about this? I don't know really what I'm doing. Can you help me? No, absolutely nothing. So finally I got nasty, and again, there's nothing. That didn't work either. So here we are. Okay, this is my electron flood theory, which replaces a nucleus with electrons, but the electrons are dipoles. One side is dark matter, it's a black ball, and one side is the electron, which is the explosive portion. 1,837 of these, or it might be half of that, make up a proton, but it's the mass of this divided up makes up the proton of 1,837 electrons, I believe, because an electron is weighed out to be 0.000584, something like that, and you divide it out from what a proton is. There's 1,837 of these in one proton, which is out. It makes it attractive to one more electron in an orbital, but it can't get in because there's a surrounding of electrons already that say, no, we don't want any more. That's what creates stability. It's a shake, push to shove, boom, and then it locks in, and then the more want to get in, they say, no, we have enough, and they have to crush. And it depends on how many are in the center, how many more want to get in. That's all it is to the orbitals. Now, photons are nothing more than two electrons tied together, I believe. When they concuss, they explode. Here is the actual physical evidence of my statements. That is pulse red laser, just light. This is a cylinder here and a cylinder here, which creates a crushing effect for the light, which is this pulse. It has to force itself in to there, which accelerates the hell out of it and forces the particle, which is the light. Light is a particle. Here's what light really consists of. A particle just like that, swishing through, but it's a magnetic particle. You take a magnet, you know you can push and you can feel something. You're not touching it, but you can feel it doing it. That's what the field is in front, the magnetic field. That's the wave. That created the wave. That's the particle. So it's a particle-wave duality. They always, it's been a nonsense thing. It's just a particle, and that particle does this. Where's my spinner here? Here's what the particle actually is doing, and I will show this too. It's spinning like this. That's the particle right there, magnetic. It spins, and it actually turns into its dipole configuration right here, just prior to the concussion. Just prior to the concussion, we can see the boson, and we can see the fermion, or you can call it a muon, an electron, whatever you want to call it. But when they hit this venturi, they literally separate the black from the white, and I'm going to show you that. And the other result is this, which is the electron showers coming at us. All right? They actually separated. This is the first time it's ever been seen. These are the muons separating from the electrons, and due to our venturi. Now, I say that venturi is creating this, but depending upon what that venturi is made out of, copper, tin, aluminum, magnesium, some kind of alloys, the distance between them, the variation of the angle of the photons coming in, all of that will have an effect on what's coming out the other side. We can either increase it, decrease it, create different frequencies, and it depends. Copper has unbelievable amount of extra electrons. So as this is coming through here, we could almost hit like a wall of electrons, and who knows what we can do. But nobody's paying attention, so what we can do is nothing. Now, as it comes through here, it's now has charge separated. Time to look at this. That's all I have to say.